Children, today we will be discussing the remaining solution of the remaining sums of the question paper of your term 1 examination, mathematics class 10th. Right. So 8 questions we have already discussed. Let's proceed further. Let's discuss ninth sum. See, in this ninth sum, it is given that the shadow of the tower is root 3 times its height. Find the angle of elevation of the top of the tower. Now, if we draw the diagram and assume that let AB be the tower of height x meters and the length of the shadow of the tower AB is BC, which is root 3x, then if we say that in triangle ABC, if we take out tan theta, and theta is the angle of elevation of the top, that means from the end of the shadow, if we watch the top of the tower, it forms an angle theta. So the value of tan theta will be AB upon BC. That means perpendicular upon base, right? So the value of AB, we know that it is x and BC is root 3x. So x and x will get cancelled. The value of tan theta will come 1 upon root 3. And in tan 1 upon root 3 is the value of tan 30 degree. So tan theta equals to tan 30 degree. Equating the angle, we'll get the value of theta as 30 degree. So this is the value of the angle of elevation of the top of the tower, right? Note down the solution, please. Okay, children, let's see the 10th sum. In this sum, we have to prove that cosec A plus cot A is equals to 1 upon cosec A minus cot A. So we can pick up any side, either left hand side or right hand side, and then we can prove it to the other side. Here I have picked left hand side, which is given as cosec A plus cot A, right? So when cosec A plus cot A is given, then we can write, that means the denominator is 1. So we can write this expression as cosec A plus cot A whole upon 1. And in 1 we can substitute the value, right? We know that 1 can be written as, in terms of cosec and cot, 1 can be written as cosec square A minus cot square A. So it will become cosec A plus cot A in the numerator, in the denominator cosec square A minus cot square A. Now we know that A square minus B square is A plus B, A minus B. So here this cosec A plus cot A and cosec A plus cot A will get cancelled. What we'll get? 1 upon cosec A minus cot A. Okay, and that is what the right hand side is. So now we can say that left hand side and right hand sides are equal, hence proved. Note down, please. Okay, children, let's see the next sum. In this sum, it is given that fx equals to, when divided by x minus 3, the polynomials x cube minus px square plus x plus 6 and 2x cube minus x square minus p plus 3 bracket into x minus 6 leaves the same remainder. Find the value of p. That means if we assume that let fx equals to x cube minus px square plus x plus 6 and gx equals to 2x cube minus x square minus in bracket px plus 3x minus 6, when both the expression fx and gx when divided by x minus 3 leaves the same remainder. From here we can conclude that the value of f3 and the value of g3 is same. That means the value of the function f at 3 and the value of the function g at 3 will be same because their remainder is same, right? So when we substitute the value of 3 in fx and 3 in gx and simplify, we'll get the remainders of fx as 36 minus 9p and 30 minus 3p. So when we equate the remainder and transfer the term p one side, we'll get 9p minus 3p equals to 36 minus 30. That means 6p equals to 6. The value of p will be obtained further as 1. Alright, please note down. Okay, children, let's see the next sum, which is the 12th sum. In the 12th sum, it is given that from the top of a hill, so here we have assumed that let the hill be AB, whose height is h meters, right? From the top of the hill, the angle of depression of two consecutive kilometer stone. If the stones are consecutive kilometer stones, that means the distance between the kilometer stones will be always 1 kilometer. The question says the angle of depression of these two consecutive stones depression, okay, will be, so this angle will be 45 degree and this angle will be 30 degree. So these two lines will be parallel. If this is 30 degree, so this angle will be also 30 degree. This is 45, so this will also be 45, right? So and C and D be the kilometer stones, so the distance of CD will be 1 kilometers, right? So let the distance between B and C be x kilometers, right? Let's solve. First we take triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC, if we apply tan 45 degree, that will be AB upon BC. AB is H and BC is X. So H upon X, the value of tan 45 degree is 1. So when we cross multiply, we get this condition, the value of H and X is same or equal, right? Now we say that in triangle ABD, this whole triangle ABD, this whole triangle, now the angle of elevation here is 30 degree. Now if we apply tan 30 degree, it will be AB upon BD. The value of AB is H and the value of BD will be X plus 1. When we cross multiply, we get root 3H equals to X plus 1. Now we know that the value of X and H is same. So if we put X in place of H, it will be root 3X equals to X plus 1. When we transfer this X that side, it will be root 3X minus X equals to 1. Taking common X and cross multiplying, we'll get X equals to 1 upon root 3 minus 1. Now we are getting square root in the denominator. We'll rationalizing a denominator by multiplying with the conjugate. So we'll multiplying it root 3 plus 1 upon root 3 plus 1. We'll get root 3 plus 1 in the numerator and 3 minus 1 in the denominator, which is 2. The value of root 3 is 1.3732 plus 1 upon 2, it will be 2.732. When divided by 2, we'll get 1.366 kilometers. Hence the value of first kilometer stones from the foot of the hill is 1.366 kilometers. Therefore, the length BD will be 2.366 kilometers. Alright children, please note down. Let's see another sum children. In this sum it is given that the capacity of the cylindrical vessel of height 1 meter is 15.4 liters. How many meter cube of metal sheet will be needed to make it? That means we have to find the total surface area of the closed cylindrical vessel, right? Now the volume is given 15.4 liters. We know that 1 meter cube equals to 1000 liter. So 1 liter will be 1 upon 1000 meter cube. So if we are converting the volume into meter cube, we'll divide the quantity in liters by 1000, right? So we get the volume as 0.0154 meter cube. Height is given 1 meter. Volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. When we substitute the value of 22 upon 7 into r square into 1 equals to the volume, and cross multiplying the values, we'll get the value of r square as 0.307 into 7. So if we remove the decimal, we'll get 10,000 in the denominator, and numerator we will get 7 into 7. So now we can take the square root easily. So the value of r will be obtained as 7 upon 100 meter or 0.07 meters. The formula for finding the total surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r bracket h plus r. Now we substitute the value of h, r and pi here in this formula. So what we'll get? 2 into 22 upon 7 into 0.07 in bracket 1 plus 0.07. So this will become 1.07, and the 7 and 7 will get cancelled. You will get 0.01. 2 into 22, it will be 44. So when we multiply these three terms, we'll get 0.4708 meter square, which is the area of the sheet needed to make the cylindrical vessel. Alright children, please note down the solution. Okay, let's see another sum children. This is question number 14. In this sum it is given that matrix, it is 2 by 2 order matrix, 8 minus 2 first row, 1 4 second row, into x is equals to there is only one column, 12 and 10. So write down the order of x, order of matrix x we have to calculate, and the matrix x we have to calculate. Let's calculate the order first. Okay, suppose a and x will get multiplied and the product is b, and the order of a is given 2 by 2 and the order of product b, which is 2 by 1. It has 2 rows and 1 column. So when the multiplication is possible, that means the column of first matrix must equal to the rows of the second matrix, right? Only then the multiplication is possible. Number of column of first matrix and number of rows of second matrix when becomes equal, then we can multiply both the matrix 1 and 2, right? So the number of rows of x will be 2. Now the number of columns of the product matrix will be the number of columns of the second matrix, number of rows of the product matrix will be number of rows of the first matrix. So the number of columns, we can say that it will be 1. So the order of matrix X is 2 by 1. Now when we know the value of the order of X, so we assume that the matrix X be A and B. It has 2 rows and 1 column. So we can substitute the value of X, that what you have assumed here. Now when we multiply these two matrices, so this row and this column will get multiplied. So 8 into A, 8A minus 2B, and we can equate it to 12. So this will become an equation, first equation, 8A minus 2B equals to 12. And the second equation will be 1 into A, and 4 into B, A plus 4B equals to 10. Right. Now here you can see we have 2B, here we have 4B. So what we'll do, we'll multiply by 2 in the first equation. So we get 16A minus 4B equals to 24. A plus 4B equals to 10. So when we add both the equations, 4B and 4 will get cancelled. 17A equals to 34. The value of A will be obtained 2. Now what we'll do, substituting the value of A in equation 2 here, this is in this equation, A plus 4B equals to 10. When we put A equals to 2 here, the value of 4B will be 8. When cross multiplying, the value of B will be 2. Substituting the value of A and B in the matrix that we have assumed, the value of matrix X will be 2 and 2. That will be the only one column, and both the elements will be 2. Alright children, note down the solution. Okay children, let's see the last sum of the question paper. 15 sum. In this sum it is given that A cube plus 3AB square upon B cube plus 3A square B is equals to 63 upon 62. Using component and dividendo, find the value of A's to B. So I'm not writing the question, I'm directly solving it, applying componendo and dividendo here in the sum. What we'll get? A plus B. What is componendo and dividendo? If it is written A upon B equals to C upon D, then when we apply componendo and dividendo, it will get A plus B upon A minus B equals to C plus D upon C minus D. So when we apply componendo and dividendo here, considering this whole numerator as A and this whole denominator as B, we'll get A cube plus 3AB square upon B cube plus 3A square B upon A cube plus 3AB square minus B cube minus 3A square B. And here this side will get 63 plus 62 upon 63 minus 62. So this sum up will be 125 upon 1. This is the formula of A plus B to the whole cube, and this is the formula of A minus B to the whole cube. On taking cube root both sides, it will become A plus B upon A minus B is equals to 5. Right. Now what we'll do, we'll again apply componendo and dividendo. So when we apply again componendo and dividendo, it will become A plus B plus A minus B and A plus B minus A plus B. Right. So here in the numerator B will get cancelled and the denominator A will get cancelled. And this side will get 5 plus 1 upon 5 minus 1. So this will be 6 upon 4. 2 3 is 6, 2 2 is 4. And this 2A upon 2B, 2 will get cancelled. So from here we can say that the value of A is to B will be 3:2. Alright children. Do copy.